I don't see it recorded.
It's recorded.
It says now, like, it says it's been recorded.
You're good.
We're good? Yeah. I got a message up from this, that's being recorded. Pete Campbell,
Here.
Jim Steelsmith,
Here.
Bill Gallagher.
Here.
Kyle Ferris is off. And Steve Eisenhower,
Brown.
Eisenbrown. So,
Oh, well, that's fine. I was looking at it.
thank you. Need a motion to approve the agenda of flexibility. Make a motion that we approve the agenda for flexibility. One second. Okay, say aye. Vote same sign. We have minutes. And May 15th, 2023, Chair Pete Campbell calls regular meeting to order at 7:35. Mr. Campbell calls the roll. Keith, Jim, Kyle, and Bill is here. And Ken is here. Steve Eisenbrown. Eisenhower. I've been really creative. Sorry, keep going. We have some. No guests are present on the Zoom. Mr. Campbell read the minutes of the last meeting of 4/17/23. Mr. Bill Smith made a motion to approve the 4/17/23 minutes. Mr. Barrett seconded the motion. As for the voice vote, all ayes, motion unanimous, vote unanimously carried. Mr. Campbell, there's no new business at this time. And Mr. Cannon gave an updated report on action and new permits issued by his office. Mr. Still Smith reported on the meetings of the steering committee. The board members discussed the next meeting date to be held on June 26, 2023. Mr. Still Smith motion to adjourn the meeting. Mr. Gallagher seconded the motion. Vote vote all ayes, motion unanimously carried. Mr. Campbell, the meeting is now adjourned at 8:44. Other than spelling the anything, any questions? Yeah, motion to move. Approve the minutes as corrected. I make a motion, we approve the minutes as correct.
I'll second it.
Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Next on the agenda. New business. We have an application, I think the people here. Single application, no application, any other new business? Anything I think right after you? Nothing. Nothing from the zoning director. Okay, we go to the, I'll have, actually, I'll hold off from my presentation till after we get everything else done. Right, so, executive report?
All right. Right now, we're looking at about, well, not about, we are looking at 50 permits right now compared to 54 at the end of the month last year, so we're running pretty close to the same. The difference being in the single family residence accessory building are a little less, and there's a few more pool and deck than last year. far as open enforcement issues, two of our big enforcement issues are at the courts right now, the court of appeals. So they're in Corey's hand, and actually so is the dump truck issue down there on Seven Road, that's there also. Still waiting on new pictures from the complainant on a Lewis Center. I'm sorry, Lewis Road problem. They're gonna send me some pictures, I haven't seen them yet. Green Cook has been cleaning up, and I foresee taking them off of this as soon as I can get out there with the resident and walk their property. The Harlem Road complaint is cleaned up. That is about it. As far as new business for the BZA, not sure if we're gonna have anything. We're not betting on the way one of the residents wants to go with it, so I guess I don't have anything to report on that right now. So still nothing on the distillery, which would be you guys. Ice skating rink, if they're gonna go through with that, when I talk to that person, it's gonna come to you guys, whether they're gonna do it or not, is another story. The 605 one we've been waiting on, yeah, medical issue, so I'm not sure when he's gonna come in. He was in the hospital last month. And that is everything.
Thank you very much. Jim, there's something
Planning committee's been super busy. And, we are now working on an overlay, up the east side of the township along, South County Line Road going north of 37. In fact, the township actually goes across 37. Been working on that. And, just a lot of discussion on what should go there and that type of thing. We put to bed the PRCD, which is the residential portion for south of Center Village Road. So that's been put to bed, and just waiting on our 60 days on that, or 30 days. 30 days on that, so then we'll have a second one down. So we're moving right along for budget amateurs.
I don't think you all about the energy story. I think you guys are pretty well.
Yeah, when this is all over, we can probably go out and get jobs. Yeah, there you go.
Lee? Question, I don't know, should we discuss this or not with the event center thing and that?
Yeah, I think that's, I know we discussed it. I didn't know if you guys were wanting to bring that up and discuss it right now. I think it's
Not really nothing in front of us, but it's something, and after I've done more research, I think I changed my mind again.
really.
So
So what are you thinking?
Well, when I went to the fire.
Probably have to let everybody know.
Yeah, I knew a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, we have been in contact with the person on Federal Road, 14.9, I think it's in. And they want to build a barn, they could have weddings and other things, have events in it. And so the discussion was that it was playing commercial, so my fear was allow commercial here, and then you had to allow commercial with neighboring properties too, and we wouldn't want to do that, because it's not really on the master plan, commercial area. So would the zoning commission approve a planning commercial? I don't know. So then I thought, well, maybe under agricultural, it could be a conditional use. And my thinking was we have another similar thing in the township. In Black Rooster up there, 65. They do weddings and events, but they also have classes. So when I read the stuff in the agricultural district. You could have classes with up to 8 students in a situation on an ag use or something like that works, I don't know why. But it doesn't really say event, it's just that's fine. Luke is not really asking for classes, he's asking for that. So when I read the 519, yesterday, when I read that. If it's not in the running resolution, we can't do about it. But they just spell it out in the resolution, and this is allowed condition to use. So that's where I changed my mind. I guess it's not specified in there as a condition on the condition of use. Whether the district is in. We really have no say.
Which means that the alternatives to go for commercials.
Which if you read some of that, it doesn't really specify that they're allowed to have anything like that in like commercial either.
They might, yeah, I don't know how they do that. When we were talking about doing the, variance, I never pursued it any further as to plan, commercial, industrial. But the industrial, we found out they can do the ice skating in industrial.
Yeah.
Because it's nothing in commercial. So it's sort of weird the way the different things appear. So I didn't know where this was going to appear, where they could do it. So I sort of dropped it when I thought we were going to do a variance. I still don't know.
I think if I was you, I'd actually talk to the prosecutor's office and see what the options are. Okay, then. But as I read what I've read now, I think we're not, unless it's specified in the resolution, we're not ready. We can't write one.
But it's not in the areas, so we're not comprehensive plan doesn't make the future commercial. Wouldn't the, I can't speak for the zoning commission, but wouldn't they sort of go, it's kind of an odd duck here?
Yeah.
I mean, I think the problem is that they would have to, they're looking at it as a planned unit commercial, in other words, the whole property. And then he has to say this is going to be a plan, like a commercial district for this property. And I don't think that's what the resident wants. I think he just wants to be able to put his entertainment or event center there. And later on do something else with the property.
I mean, my whole thought was looking at that, well, if it came to us, we would say, well, you have to have parking, you have to have, any kind of safety, anything, whatever, if you have this ground. You have to have lighting, the parking lot, Then I would specify that there have to be permission from government health for sanitation and for if there's, if you go in the event center, if you have a kitchen there, you have to have a department on that part too. So, and I was, thinking of things, but however they want to do, make sure, don't go, we thought that one another, part of the hand.
Well, the other challenge is.
But that stuff is also, when you do a plan commercial, that becomes part of the zoning. The plan is the zoning, so the zoning commission would do all the same kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's not like they, averting those steps they want to plan commercial.
Where is this on certain buildings?
Right down here, where power lines go across center, going down there on that side of, Harlem,
Yeah.
where Gary Brand is. Yeah.
Power lines go across the front.
Well, right where, it's power lines going right through this property, it's 14 acres, basically back and over. And then there's a little strip on the other side of it.
So before we get to Harlem going down, it's about halfway.
Yeah,
About halfway
Yeah,
on the
sorry.
other side of Miller, between
That
Miller
side,
Fall and
Miller Fall, yeah.
Harlem. Yeah. But there's a lot of other nuisance stuff. Well, actually, there's nuisance noise. And lighting and noise.
2 doors down from him, from that property is that. Another issue.
And
You know, my whole question is all time is how the last instance, what's the date fall on, how they gonna say? People are, wow, we have a file,
well, and they do a lot of,
but they do have,
they have detail there. Yeah.
they have detailed sales,
Yeah.
and they have also have, you know, flashing instructions and all that kind of stuff there besides, you know, you can.
Did they start off maybe doing it as like a stated home occupation, even
I-
without the?
That never came to this yet.
We've
I know,
seen
but
none-
are they
there's nothing
thinking
in the
that?
files on that, so
Nothing?
they can come to us.
I kind of asked Jerry Paul, he don't remember how that they.
I think it probably came in and they went agriculture
Right.
and just did their
The
thing.
thing, when I looked at the last recent property, that facility says on 4 point something acres, something like that,
Really?
but they own bigger excavations next to it, so, that, you know, you can, and I guess if you own both of them, they can be separate, it's totally owned. I don't know, but, you know, but that building actually sits on 4 point something acres. That's it.
So, I mean, so speculating, I mean, so it didn't come here and it had to go, and it went to zoning. And if there was no provision to allow this person to do it, is that gonna raise the issue of why did you let the glass rooster do it? Do you think
I mean,
you even
I
know
mean,
that?
if I was wanting to do that, that would be a fair question to me, but, you know, why can they do it and I can't? You know?
I don't know that he has that.
I don't think I'm
option
even
for
know, I don't think
Well,
even know
but
the
it's
last
still-
people there is.
Yeah, it's still the idea of uniform enforcement. Right.
You're right,
No,
absolutely right.
so there is a thing in agricultural that if, under agricultural zoning, that you can have one of these, event centers if you're selling at least 50% of products that were raised in this, in central Ohio, agricultural products. So if they were selling, if the wine they served was local wine, if, decorations were all purchased locally, and if they got that number up to 50% of their business, they could do it. We could entertain it on a variance.
I don't know.
But it's hard to do because they're not growing it on that site.
Well, the thing is, under agriculture, that doesn't require variance, that you just allow in agriculture, it's allowed.
No, that's true.
You don't have to.
So he would just have to go to the building department, make sure he does his thing and have it.
You see, that's, you know. I don't know, I don't have to, but that's where you might need to talk to. Yourself.
Now, you might talk to Corey on that. I just thinking on behalf of the guy that's got the property. And trying to figure out if we can, in fact, help him. I just don't think he wants to go a PUD or a
He
PCD.
kind of drew some stuff out, and he has separate
Right.
tracks, when the traffic in, he has through on the back part of the lot, he's more. All the other stuff, you know, it's not like it's, the building he designed, he looked at, it.
That's a very country looking building.
Yeah, it would fit right into what we're trying to do.
Yeah, yeah, it does.
But they did like things that concerns me was, you know, the rural look of the,
Yeah, you just
the
do
building, you know, it would fit right in everything.
so, and how his neighbors do.
Yeah.
Well,
We don't know that.
Well, I mean, most of the neighbors would be making more noise than.
Yeah.
On
Gator branch on one side and across the street.
several sides, yeah.
So, yeah, you know, I mean, it's,
But he wants to do something else with the other part of his property later on, is what he's
Yeah.
indicated.
Yeah, he's indicated that
So,
he'll
but he's
done,
not ready to put that into a master
yeah,
plan of property. So I don't know how the zoning board would look at that without him being able to do a plan.
for all of it.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, this is, so you're aware, you might
I
point
mean,
out,
that's been the.
think about what.
well, I can also send you out, send that file out to you guys, so you can look at this stuff and see what we're talking about. Maybe put some thought into it.
That's a nice guy.
It is.
And the point that I made with the guy when we talked about it was that he just didn't go out and buy the property to do this. He's owned it for what, 10 years?
Oh, yeah, you know, yeah.
No. So he's owned it for quite a while, so it's not like I purchased this, not let me do it. You know, he's been trying to figure out what to do with the property.
Nothing else new, I got. Hand up, but. Yep. Yep.
Did you get one? Okay.
Instead of doing the whole thing I did before, so keep my same kind of stuff, but I just relate to the 519. The final by code, which is our rules, regulations with the policy, and kind of make sure all up to speed and everything. And I'm just gonna start reading, and when I get to the end of the first page, if I have any questions, we'll do that. In any township which adopts its zoning regulations, the board of zoning, a township trustee shall appoint the township board of zoning appeals composed of 5 members who shall be residents of the unincorporated territory of the township, including the area zone. The board of township trustees may appoint 2 alternate members to the township board of zoning appeals for terms determined by the board of township trustees. An alternate member shall take the place of an absent member. Regular member at any meeting of the board of zoning appeals, according to procedures prescribed by the resolution by the board of township trustees. An alternate member shall meet the same appointment criteria as a regular member. When attending a meeting on behalf of the absent member, the alternate member may vote on any matter on which the absent member is authorized to vote. The terms of all regular members shall be such length of the range that the term of one member will expire each year. Each regular or alternate member shall serve until a member's successor is appointed or qualified. Members shall be removed from the same causes in the same manner and may be suspended as provided by section 519 of the Revised Code. The decision of the board of township trustees regarding suspension or removal may be appealed under chapter 2506 of the Revised Code. Vacancy shall be filled by the board of township trustees and shall be for the unexpired term. The suspension authorized by section 519 of the Revised Code is not a vacancy for purposes of this section. The members may be allowed their expenses or such compensation of both as the board of township trustees may approve to provide. The board of zoning appeals may within the limits of the money appropriated by the board of township trustees for the purpose employ such executive, professional, technical, and other assistance as considered necessary. Anyone have any questions on that? Basically, just put the guidelines of what the board is descriptive of. Outcomes for 1 or 5 years, one of which we need every once a year. So you just turn 5 years and then 5th year you be a 5. So, and but if it's consequently, if I'm bring it on. You do that, you have to be 30 days later.
Go ahead. You want to read the next one for you?
If you want to read next one,
Yeah, we'll alternate around. The township board of zoning appeals may hear and decide appeals where it is alleged that an error in any order, requirement, decision, or determination made by an administrative official in the enforcement of section 519.02 to 519.25 of the revised code of any resolution adopted pursuant hereto. B, authorize upon appeal in specific cases such variances from the terms of the zoning resolution as will not be contrary to the public interest, where owing and special consideration, a literal enforcement of the resolution will result in unnecessary hardship, and so that the spirit of the resolution shall be observed and substantial justice done. C, grant conditional zoning certificates for the use of land, buildings, or other structures. If such certificates for specific uses are provided for in the zoning resolution. If the board board considers conditional zoning certificates for activities that are permitted and regulated under chapter 1514 of the revised code or activities that are related to making finished aggregate products, the board shall proceed in accordance with section 519.141 of the revised code. D, revoke an authorized variance or conditional use certificate granted for the extraction of minerals if any condition of the variance or certificate is violated. The board shall notify the holder of the variances or certificate either by certified mail or the board has record of an internet identifier record associated with the holder by ordinary mail and by that an internet identifier of record of its intent to revoke the variance of certificate under division D of this section, and if the holder's right to a hearing before the board within 30 days of the mailing notice, if the holder so requests. If the holder requests a hearing, the board shall set a time and place for the hearing and notify the holder. At the hearing, the holder may appear in person by the holder's attorney or by any other representative, or the holder may be present by the holder's position in writing. The holder may be present, may present evidence, and examine witnesses appearing for or against the holder. If hearing is requested, the board may revoke the variance or certificate without a hearing. The authority to revoke a variance or certificate is in addition to any other means of zoning enforcement provided by law. In exercising the above mentioned powers, the board may, in conformity with that section, reverse or affirm wholly or partly, or may modify the order, requirement, decision, or determination appealed from, and may make such order, requirement, decision, or determination as ought to be made, and to that end, all powers of the officer from whom the appeal is taken. As used in this section, internet identifier of record has the same meaning as 9.312 of the revised code.
Okay. My first comment question on this is, under the, that additional zoning certificate use of land building those subdivisions. The such certificates of specific uses are specified in the zoning resolution. And that's what I said I changed my mind. It's not specified in the zoning resolution, but it doesn't say we can consider.
Why would they have it in there if it's who's going to grant? Because normally you would just grant a variance.
So a variance is normally a setback. You can't use a setback. A conditional use is a different use with condition set. So you're thinking use variance.
Okay.
A use variance, I don't know that I've
Okay.
done one. I don't know if we're allowed to do one. And that may be something, you might write that down, Mike.
Yeah,
And ask
I'm
for
good.
it, right, about a use variance, and what that, I have never done one. I don't know that. That's kind of a gray area. So, I don't know. But it basically says that it's not specifically stated in the zoning. That's why I say, I don't know if we can give
Yeah, I see.
a conditional use to a different use, it's not. The D part, the mining, extraction of minerals, all that, we don't have anything like that in the township I know of.
By the way, for you guys' information, I used to stone quarries in Harlem Township.
That's what you're saying,
Yeah, there's one next to me, but in case they want to revise it.
That's different, different permitting process, so we have say in the permit, they have to go through state too,
Yeah, right.
but then we, as a township, have, a little say, whatever, I've never done one, but
Usually we would, yeah.
normally it's not nothing. But again, it's something that maybe not sure how long we're talking about. The next page says conditional zoning district for surface mining activities again. That's what that's referring to the previous page. This is what
Well, it must have been meant for Southern Ohio. All the mining.
I don't think we have that problem here, just to worry about. It is part of our duties. Okay, rules, meetings, and procedures of the board. The Township Board of Zoning Appeals shall organize and adopt rules in accordance with the zoning resolution. Meetings of the Board of Zoning Appeals shall be held at the call of the chairperson and at other such times as the board determines. The chairperson or in the chairperson's absence, the acting chairperson may administer oaths. The Board of Zoning Appeals may compile the attendance of a witnesses. All meetings of the Board of Zoning Appeals shall be open to the public. The Board of Zoning Appeals shall keep minutes of the proceedings, showing the voice vote of all regular and alternate members upon such questions, or if absent or failing to vote, indicating such facts, and shall keep records of witness examinations and other official actions, all of which shall be immediately filed in the office of the Board of the Township Trustees and be public records. So, too much self-explanatory. I call the meeting. Actually, we do that as an organization meeting in January. We set up our meeting for the whole year. The Board of Zoning Appeals shall fix a reasonable time for public hearing of an appeal, given at least 10 days notice in writing to the parties of interest. Such notice shall public of such given notice of such public hearing by one publication in one or more papers of general circulation in the county at least 10 days before the date of such hearing, and decide the appeal within a reasonable time after it is submitted. Upon the hearing, an in-person may appear in person or by attorney. What we do, we have a hearing, that's why we do the thing, public notice in the paper, it's advertised, we have letters to the zoning property owners. And you have to put down here, specified, and the place is satisfied here, satisfied paper, and the zoning property owners notified. Board of Township Trustees may require a person making an appeal to pay a fee and to pay the cost of advertising and in expenses. That's what our $500 fee for on the application, what it might do.
I can do this.
Answer.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll answer three questions. Back when I first started, meetings were at 7 o'clock. They were at 7 o'clock standard time, 8 o'clock. So the farmers had more time in the field because stop time and whatever. And so it was a little confusing for them, remember, the times changed, now my meetings changed. Used to 7 o'clock, now 8 o'clock, and after that, then now back to 7 o'clock. And I feel some of the stuff together. Like years ago, so what it's just put the different things of 7:30, so and give me like any time to think about it. So the different, that's why we're meeting at 7. I know, go to late. Sometimes, you know. It's,
I know we have a regular board member that he's cutting it short to get here on time.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
okay. But
that's from work.
just the history of it, it used to be 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, depending on the time change. And that got to be, you know, kind of confusing too, and people would, show up too early or stuff, you know. For the middle, like, 7:30.
I've never heard that story.
Oh, it's a good story. Yeah. Not good story, but I respect that. But I mean, as long as I've been here, and it's funny, most people don't even realize how that, yeah. I can't be thinking about that, kind of thing. That's the way it was when I first. Came to township, they have things on about it, and we so we just kind of put that at 7:30, and we try to say 2 hours. So it's 7:30, say 9:30, 2 hours. We're not using it as an o'clock party ever. So, it's kind of like, there's no time limit on the meeting, so we kind of keep it to 2 hours. Maybe the question, right? Yes, sir. 51919, non-conforming use of buildings and land not affected by zoning. The lawful use of any dwelling, building or structure and any land or premises as existing and lawful at the time of the enactment of the zoning resolution or amendment thereto may be continued, although such use does not conform with such resolution or amendment. But if any such non-conforming use is voluntarily discontinued for 2 years or more, any future use of such land shall be in conformity with section 519.2 to 5.2.25, inclusive of the zoning code. The Board of County Trustees shall provide in any zoning resolution for the compensation, restoration, reconstruction, extension, or substitution of non-conforming uses upon such reasonable terms as are set forth in the zoning resolution. So, this is very helpful. If you had it before, we can't take it away from you, but if you continue doing that, then you have to come back. This is the thing we had looked at here before, because we someone who had something for a long time, and they come to us and they don't conform because it's done before either the amendment or the. We had looked up when the amendment, but some resolution changes on here a few years back, because it had been happening before the amendment, that amendment, and that amendment, put them out. So it's still allowed to do it. Okay. We changed it, and a lot of that has, especially what we find is less than 2 acre lots. Not much, yeah, but yeah, I got 8 3/4. But that time back then was 1 acre, and so in that changed to all those less than 2 acre lots, and now not. But they still have the right to use their land.
There was a,
Yeah.
Okay. So, when you guys, have looked at this over the years, I noticed that sometimes things that were done back in the 40s and 50s on non-conforming lots.
Well, it's very different from
But I'm saying, when I look at what was done
back then.
on what we call non-conforming lots now, you know, there's a problem. For instance, the house burns down. Okay, well, let's say, this is where I was wondering if we had any lattice. Okay, so the house burns down and it's like 3 foot off the road. So the guy wants to build a new house. Now, he's allowed to build a new house on the old foundation, using the old foundation side. Why can you give him a certificate where he can be further back off the road, so that it's less dangerous?
I think think we should be able to do that, because I think anything that would make something closer to being conforming, it may be, especially if a lot never conform, you know, things, the setbacks, that may never be able to reach, you may not be able to go back too far, maybe, so the septic system back.
Right.
So, yeah, we could allow him to change it for betterment. We can't, I don't know if we're gonna make it any worse.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? If it, let's say that it's a 50-foot setback. And he's sitting at 35 feet. And he was, if I can move it up 5 or 10 feet, I don't know if I want to do that. But if it's sitting at 30 feet, and we can't move it back to 50 feet, then we're not having to make.
right, so he doesn't have to be on the same footprint, is what I'm saying.
But we have some like in Harlem.
That's what I'm getting at.
Where we had, technically had one. I mean, and we allowed them to remodel, you know, as long as it's. These are just going to take parts of it, slow it down, but when they start doing that, it's not enough. So we did get information that could be built back on that.
But at that point, could be about that, and that's what I look at, because this way I don't fit.
It's so small, there's no place for it.
Well, that's why I was wondering if it is, as an example, so that's what brought it to mind, is if he had the room, could we let, like we said, let him move it back off the road a little more if there was room. Yeah, to make it better. Okay, that's where I was just wondering what kind of latitude we might have to help these people.
Well, that's an interesting point, because you have that property up there on the corner of Harlem and Orchard,
Right.
that house is down already. Now, I've got been getting a lot of calls on that property. And they're wanting to know, one of the people did ask that, should we rebuild that house in the back where there's more room? I mean, that would get it farther away from the front of the road.
I would say they still have to come to these things.
Yes.
For variance, but I would lot more like to see that happen. Make it further back to the, they could definitely allowed to go back on the river footprint. And it was existing before the zoning came. That,
But they're right on the road when you do that.
so they're pretty
Side
close.
road.
Yeah, they're on both of them. I mean, they're
Yeah.
really up front, but they can put it back because the lot kind of narrows and then gets wider in the back. They might be able to put it back.
I don't
If
know,
they could find a place for their septic in front.
Yeah.
I don't know where the septic is, I don't know how the garage and septic system is and all that.
Oh, that's right, you looked at that probably, it's in the back, so be in the way of moving the house back.
Yeah,
I was, you know, the about this, not your name, perhaps, but that whole property is involved. And all, when you look at the topography, all the water from up the street, all comes down to the ditch. And so, as I had the rain for a couple of weeks, and Marcia and I walked that property to the back. I almost went up to my ankles in mud back there.
Really?
It's almost standing water behind that garage. Because it just all comes right, you know, it's all sitting on clay.
Yeah.
And it just feeds, because you can see some of the neighbors have put in some drain tile or some other pipes to help it get to the ditch. But if somebody's gonna build back there, they'd have to put in some serious tiling right along the back boundary and bring the water out to the front, because gravity obviously can force it downhill. Yeah, but otherwise, I would consider it unbuildable. So, just one person's view. However, if they want to go to the trouble, yeah, if they wanted to go to the trouble, we can still entertain. Yeah. The idea that they could get it moved back off the road. So it's not dangerous for the kids or whatever.
Yeah. And would you guys be able to dictate what Steve was talking about?
No. We
Yeah.
can't dictate the soil problem.
And that's the bad thing about the whole. Don't even know, you looking forward to the flow of water.
Yeah.
The real is aware of it. Yeah, how forthright, I don't know. But Well, and the county says that you have, you know, when they build it, the inspector should be inspecting, but how much do they do? I don't know. I've never had one tell me you have a water flow problem. But
I
make
think
sure
if
that
they were needing it. But, you know,
I mean, I'm gonna find
figured
it.
they were sparing $25,000 to $30,000 worth of water. When that goes up. Then you get into the soil issue, if you're gonna move it, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
And, so my guess is they have to go mound out front.
Yeah,
Because that area is probably, it's just a bog. Yeah,
it's gonna be a while going up there.
let's hope.
So theoretically, this is the point we're starting to make now, and I think this is enlightening, especially for Mike, is that if you have a problem building and something happens to it, I'm not saying it's a problem, but something happens to it and you're looking at it, and the kids are gonna end up playing on the road, or there's no place to park the car, if he could move it back on a non-conforming lot, that would be in the best interest of the community and the owner and everybody. Yeah. I think that's good.
I think that's kind of an easy one.
Yeah, right, but I'm just saying, we've never really, addressed that here because we haven't had that real brought up. The thing that brought it up to me early on with the committee was the old schoolhouse on Harlem Road by the, curtain players. Remember, people were talking about fixing it up and, or you had to rebuild on the same. And I looked at that and I thought, somebody builds a house on that, those kids are gonna be right on Harlem Road. Because it's a narrow lot. And so then I got to thinking, what do you do to try to make sure you do it right? For those people, this is the type of thing that we could look at. So I like that,
The question I have is, do you have to use the same footprint or just the same square footage of the footprint? You know, if you were gonna move that back and it was a 800 square foot house. Well, do you just, are you, if you look at the, you have about 1,200 foot house or whatever.
yeah.
No, whatever. Lower limit is now, so we have to make a big anything. Maybe 300.
well, a lot of
So
those
you
houses,
don't have to use the same footprint.
a lot of those houses, you go 2 stories.
It depends. It depends on the size of the lot, where they have to go to. If they want in Harlem, there's a lot, I don't know how big the lot is.
Poor guys, I
I don't think a quarter of an acre maybe, I don't know.
don't even think it's that big.
I don't think it's, you know, it's not even.
His problem is if he moved it, he'd still be on the road as he moved it back. He's on the corner, while he's right across from, where that White House is, where they cleaned up all the trash on the corner there in Harlem, and it's right across the street, the guy's got a nice,
Oh, got all that. That
fence,
thing. Okay, I know you're talking about now.
you know.
Yeah, there's like 3 houses in like a quarter acre right there.
Yeah, it's bad. But there again, you know, I'm just trying to think of how we can help the individual and the community at the same time. And if we have that power, and, interesting.
Well, I thought it was non-conforming. If something was torn down, there was some kind of a rule you could rebuild plus 20% square footage or something.
That's 25, 25.
Okay.
But they still gotta come for a variance.
But you,
Yeah, you still gotta
and you
do that.
still gotta try to respect the various setbacks to the best of your ability, given where you're trying to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I would think that the common sense would be, you know, you don't wanna keep it make it no worse.
You
than
have
what-
a couple of things that have this very 2.5%, that's very similar to that. So
Right.
it might be a couple of things.
Okay.
And then we charge them for each thing, and you get that $20 fee. Okay. I had to say that, I was just kidding.
Be careful what you say.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Next piece of paper. By land use plan. It's kind of, you know, part of the step to be the written application submitted to the zoning inspector and for zoning appeal. According to my learning and that's just a person comes to the zoning inspector and what they want to do. If he can't write a commit, then he has to say, I deny this, and he needs to do it, both BZA and his application. But he has to basically say, no, I can't do that. Because the zoning regulations do not do that. You're gonna need a variance for your conditional use for everything. And then that, the first step is him, and he has to say, no, I can't do that. So the written application is submitted to the zoning inspector and the board of zoning appeals, and they bring this application to us or them both or whatever, so then the application comes to us. The second thing is the notice of the public hearing in the newspaper, but I'm not responsible to do that. Once we receive the application, we have to make the public notice and to all the interested parties. In our case, it's the state, anyone who can, and within 200 feet, that's fine. So there may be a person next door, maybe we want to use that next to that, but it's probably within 200 feet of that boundary of property. And the good thing about the GIS, government, you can put it down here on your property, and it's moving over, and the property is 200 feet. That's it. So that information, always the property inspector will put on the application, and then you see that in the application. The public hearing by the board of Zoning, once we receive the application, we look at the application, we receive it, give it complete of all this stuff, information. We have a guidelines we follow, receive an application, which is what has been the application. Then we set a public hearing. Usually within 30 days. 30 days is not set for us to do.
Oh, really?
They have timelines that they've already set.
Right, well, I thought we had to do the same thing. Well, two things. Have you guys ever pushed one back?
And sometimes we've done, to help with the applicants, you think that that's their schedule, or it's like, you know, like we're on 5 weeks, you know, that's the waiting because of the holiday, so you're not doing that. It's not that. But the trustees and the zoning commission are on 60 days. Then after you get the hearing, 30 days, you should have an action. Now, why I say that because we did this with those 3 options. We had 3 months. We had 3 separate meetings. I don't think it's over 3 months. We had a meeting, we had advice, we had other things more left up to us. So the hearing is a hearing, and as long as you meet that, the time certain, you don't have to be advertised and do all that. You know, I mean, because anybody that was at that hearing the first time, was here, can reach that the time certain, and they know when the next meeting is going to be, so you don't have to be advertised. Like I say, to get more information, or to allow the applicant to bring more information, or, you know, find out whatever, so we do stop and we got it, advice on our attorneys, especially if it's talking about the first meeting, at the first meeting, to be at this day. That was the only time, one of the twice, and was the executive session. Now, in that being because you're allowed to consult with someone, right? I don't like executive session. Does it have to be?
Trust.
And, you know, so I say that was the only, the few times I could ever remember doing that because there was discussed this with our attorney, and we didn't like to make it. And that's, I mean, valid reason to do that. But I don't know, I don't have any, it's probably, it's all kind of a favor, but it is. You know, there's no mindset behind the case. I don't believe in that, so then we, as action, the board view is grant the variances to deny it. I feel our record is, or less, we don't deny anything. Most generally, what's asking for is legitimate, and it's not matter of a simple step, you can implement it, and so it's not like, the uses of most difficult ones, because they need special conditions. Most of the setback variances is 10 feet, not 12 feet, or whatever, then the zoning inspector issues a permit. If it's denied, that the recourse of the person to be denied is compensated for it. They don't have our decision to compensate for it. By experience, that's been at many times. And what I was told is, I was saying, the first thing the court looks at is, you probably talk about the advertise sometimes, did you have the deadline, did you have a limited time, did you swear in the witnesses, did you do all the steps that you're supposed to do? The biggest thing is just when you get that for is procedure. You don't follow the procedure, yeah. So that's the biggest thing, and you have to send all of our records to the hearing and look at to the court. When the dog triage was reported, I did have a court reporter for that, but I knew it was something that came. I plan on that. And so that was a very expensive document. That all went to the court, and so but then the problem is complicated for it, might take a year for it to. But it's something we need to have a decision on this, but that's not heard of. It's usually the petitioner is supposed to be denied, or whatever. Okay. Decision by the zoning inspector. So this is zoning inspector, directly, whatever. I don't know, make it send someone a violation. They don't get it. They don't get any violation. In 20 days, they have to notify the court of zoning appeals and the zoning inspector. The zoning inspector, the person who's actually appealing of the zoning inspector. The zoning inspector's responsibility to bring all the records to the BZA. But it goes, prosecution. Yeah. Anyway, so within 20 days, that person says, I want to know the zoning inspector's decision. And so the zoning inspector will need all the records, all the stuff, and bring it all to the appeal of the notice of zoning inspector's appeal, and it's made as a record, all the parties have to notify, and the zoning inspector submits the records to the BZA. All that stuff has to be, again, within 10 days, the public records, people get notified, at least 10 days by. Then the board of appeals holds a public hearing on the decision of the zoning inspector, and within 30 days of the action by the BZA. If the decision to favor the applicant, then the applicant. If the decision to favor the zoning inspector, then the applicant reports it in for comment. I was on the other side of it. One separation, my father, the fifth word is my friend and other, but it's out, whatever. And we don't see it. For the we have with the we have attorney, we have. And then the BZA agreed with us. And it was because of the grant. As I said before, we bought the place, and it hadn't been 2 years, we had already discontinued, we still doing the same thing. And one of our witnesses is kind of trustee.
You had a bridge.
We worked on their vehicle and on the other island, it was like, yeah. Anyway, so we did, in that phase.
Question.
Yeah.
Again, I'm trying to fill in the holes. So if we ever run into things, like we just discussed, that was good. So. If the property, okay, so a guy has an auto repair business, and it's grandfathered, and the house is for sale, and he moves. And the house sits empty for 2.5 years because it didn't sell. Is he automatically out, or can he appeal it to us?
First off, when you directly.
Okay.
I'd say he's out.
Yeah.
Goes by the letter of law, right?
You guys are hard.
It says in our resolution.
I know, I'm just asking because it wasn't his fault.
It says in the Ohio Vice President.
Okay, I'm just, that's why I'm asking. Because, that was something that wasn't somebody's fault, is what I'm saying.
No, I agree, and it may be the wrong decision, but from my standpoint, I can't make it, I'm not the person that.
Again,
So
You guys
they,
want to make
what I'm saying, so you make the decision and they appeal it.
you would appeal to the BZA, and appeal to our board, and then if that guy, if you can make a good enough case, if we all agree, then.
Okay, so there is a way. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so there is a way.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think that would be
But
probably the right thing.
you have three of the five.
Yeah, okay,
But, you know,
okay.
that, you know,
Well, what I'm thinking is it may be a business that we normally wouldn't approve. But because of the age of, the grandfather, but I'm just looking at something that's not somebody's fault. If it's their fault, then, all bets are off. Okay, thank you.
thing too, what the current time of business is business. Well, you have to bring your receipts and business bills in, they choose for who is in business for that one time or not. And I asked that question, like, if I repair 2 cars a year and have a customer and I charge the money, I'm a business, It doesn't say how much business you do, it's just that you get business.
That's true.
So, just think about that too, so, right now, father's tax is not doing that business, but I still do 2-3 cars a year. I don't do it.
But you're still going, right?
I'm still doing it, I don't, it's not like sole income.
Right.
But that business will have to be sole income.
No. Okay, interesting point.
Yeah, I do a couple of people, whatever. I don't do this anymore than anybody. I'm retired. Okay, last thing. This is, kind of something we made up. So. This is, that is easier to review and consider as variance for this application. And will the property have beneficial use without the variance? Most property is sort of, use without a variance, but it doesn't only make it easier, it's not good. So the reason why you're not going to you can't do it. Will the property yield a reasonable return without the variance? Yes, I know that. That is, but it's not really only deciding factor because. But what is not, what the basic thing is, I use variance to make profit. That's the whole reason why you're looking for variance. I don't, I need the variance because I need to do what that's. Is the variance substantial? If yes, in what way is it substantial? And that's where, my substantial is let's say it's the variance. You know, a 50-foot setback, you want to put it either way, that's the same. You want to take 10 feet off of it, that's probably not the same, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I look at it as substantially greater than it is. Well, the essential character neighborhood is substantiality. It's very significant setback to the living neighborhood. The property owner purchased the property with a knowledge of zoning restriction. Most people buy property, have no idea what
They had no idea.
they don't even come up during the transaction, no one is mentioned it to them, no, you know. Maybe it is, but I would say 90% of the board people don't have no idea what zoning is, or what the zoning of the property was. Can the problem be solved by something that was in turning the variance? We just want to look at that. This is something that we can make it not. Then we will give them, it's not usually, if it's been solved without the variance, this is a, then I think probably because of that, right? So, we're granting the variance, preserve the spirit and intent of the zoning requirement. Trying to substantially change the zoning regulation by getting the variance, or this is because of the.
Hey, Pete, did I miss number 6? Did you number 6?
Yeah, no. Did the property owner purchase the property with knowledge of zoning restrictions? I said, most people don't know what.
Yeah, you're right, they don't. But I mean, what's the stance on that? Is ignorance of the law no excuse, or?
These are just things to look at.
Because that's what you're gonna run into a lot.
But you're not, it's not like a still thing or anything. These are things we need to make sure we look at and we're on it.
I would say if they admitted to that, I would probably be less inclined to be generous.
But, you know, a lot of these people, just like you guys said, they don't understand it, and they don't,
On the larger piece of the property, they don't even know where the lot lines are.
and just looking at what we're gonna get, probably people down there on Fancher Road 605, where those builders build all those houses right there and kind of landlocked, and we've looked at one of them, they haven't came to this yet, but, I mean, they don't even realize what their setbacks are, they don't even realize they can't put a garage closer than 25 feet because the flag lot on an FR1. Those are the kind of things they don't know that should we expect them to know that?
And the builder should not tell.
The builder the builder did them injustice by doing what they did.
That was bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was.
I'm sure you guys are gonna get requests for variance.
Yeah.
On that stuff.
You shorten up the driveway so they didn't have to have a lot.
We believe for that, so the same range is the spirit and intent of the zoning requirement. For substantial justice, you go by getting the variance. Most people ask why if they. If you grant it substantial justice. Well, the variance adversely affects the ability of the government services. This is thing we looked at in the past, which is the fire to get back,
Right.
and stuff like that, you know, that, we're not. Put a piece back there that they can't. You can't service with the fire truck, you know. The case of everything is practical difficulties self-created. And practical difficulties are, I don't think, who's to say it is practical difficulty, or it is not practical. But again, this is stuff that the applicant needs to explain to us. Why am I asking for why, what's my difficulty, why should you? I did not print up the Duncan standards, I didn't have that really. It's very hard to find the
Oh, yeah.
first to follow. Everything we could be considering, and then
What do you, didn't you go through that last year, the one previous year?
I probably spoke about them before.
Another Johnson.
Yeah.
The what?
Johnson standard.
Yeah, it's been down my hand, that's, right.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, actually. Honestly, there's no place. Whether the property will yield substantial return, or whether it is, it can be a beneficial use of the property off the land. And it's similar to what we just. Whether the essential characteristic will be substantial, or the running property separate substantial buffer. Whether the variances would adversely affect the local government services, whether the property, on the purpose of property with the knowledge of the zone restrictions. Method. Some plans are that we keep taking. What we look at. Whether the problem can be solved, that's another note. Some other manner other than the zoning area. Whether the variance is very secure, it can be plain resolution, what is potential justice to the plan. So it would be that. One of these.
Yeah.
We had, previously, had, there was things that we don't understand. Any other questions?
So when you're talking about, there again, because we're talking about, what may happen or things that we've seen happen in the past and how to handle it. On the, for the self-created. Okay. So if they come in, and I've been watching like a little bit, if they come in for a, variance, because, it has to be a certain place, and you say, why can't you move it over here? Yeah, so at that point, they don't want to cut a tree down or it's too close to the garden. Is that self-inflicted? In other words, they have the space to do it. They just don't want to aesthetically do it that way.
We have looked at the short trees. We have looked at septic systems. We looked at drainage systems. Drainage wells, drainage. Maybe there's drainage pipes under the ground. We can, that is good. Does not move something because of that.
Okay.
That can be good.
Well, I mean, yeah, because like I said, you could say, well, just take a chance on, cut it down, and you don't have to have variance. That's where I want to know what we have the leeway on.
I read that more. I mean, I would agree with what you just said. I kind of thought that was more, they built something, didn't get a variance, now they created a problem, now they're coming in for a variance.
Yeah.
That's how I, so that's
Well,
not,
that's true, but you don't get that as much as,
because that's clearly self-created.
oh, that's self-created, yeah. So what do you do if they build it? Yeah, it's a problem. Do you go by, is it a major problem or a minor problem? Like on the other
That makes sense, you can make it clear back down. 10 minutes. Has that ever happened? I
think Matt had one a couple of years ago where a guy put something up as part of a pole barn somewhere. And he made them take it back down. Or maybe it was he just built it ahead of ever coming to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We actually got a lot of these down there.
Okay.
So, anyone else with?
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Second the motion. We have
I just didn't want my name on the record.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. We adjourn that. 8:26.
So,
But